Hi guys, welcome to the channel CeeChronicles here. I post fragrance related content on this platform and do invite you to subscribe and join the family if you are not yet subscribed. Now, if you're returning, thank you so much guys for the continued support. I am here with a full review of Grecia Rosa. This is a fragrance that is on my tray for the month of October. I do a tray system where I show you the fragrances that I intend to wear for a particular month. So Grecia Rosa by French Avenue made it on the tray. Guys, look at the bottle. And it's super light and but it's very majestic looking, you know, reminds me of castles and pillars and stuff. So we're gonna spray Grecia Rosa on this blotter, okay? However, to make it interesting, because Grecia Rosa has gone around as inspired by Dom Rosa by Liquids Imagines, which is this fragrance. I'm gonna spray Liquids Imagines Dom Rosa on the blotter that I'm gonna hold on my right hand. So let us do that quickly and then I'll give you the comparisons. Now, I love the house of Liquids Imagines, and unfortunately, in as much as I have a couple of full bottles, I'm not sure if you can see some there, right there, I do not have Dom Rosa in full size. I just couldn't get myself to purchase this fragrance in full size because I remember when I tested it, it really didn't I'm gonna spray it so that it doesn't like get caught up in the wafts of Grecia Rosa. Okay, so that's plenty then. I didn't purchase Dom Rosa, guys, in full size because to me it felt like it would be redundant, considering that I do have a couple of rose scented fragrances in my collection, one being Sicily Easier, and I have been wearing fragrances like Davina and the old rose scented. Not that I'm saying Dom Rosa vibes like that, it doesn't, but because of that I didn't feel the need to add Dom Rosa, you know, in full size. When I smelled this and seeing other reviews saying it's going for that, I was like, I think I need this in my collection, this clone, and I will try the clone a couple of times and see if I actually love it and then compare it with this, because this is not something I added to the collection. Now, while we wait for the two to dry down, guys, I cannot preach about this fragrance enough. Proud Mary Extrait de Parfum 120 ml, a creation of mine. This is the very first fragrance made under my direction, so this is my nose from me to you, and please support Macedon Perfumes by adding it to your collection. We have it on www.macedonperfumes.com, and Macedon Perfumes itself is also a company that we established in 2024, so it is a brand new company, and the very first creation is this one. I'm going to drop the link in the description so that you can find it easy to head over to Macedon Perfumes. And we have also an added advantage where you can actually pay in parts, so you really don't have to pay full price. Once you go on the site, you can follow prompts and you can pay in parts if you wish to do so. Right, so back to Grecia Rosa. This fragrance, guys, is bolder in the opening. It's more denser in the opening. It even feels a lot sweeter, you know, in the opening, and it has a jammy presentation of the citrus. They have listed the note of grapefruit, right, in this particular one, while the Dom Rosa one, which I sprayed on this blotter, lists the note of pomelo. Pomelo is also citrusy, you know, in nature. So pomelo, grapefruit, probably one and the same thing, you know, in the sense that pomelo has got a nuance of grapefruit. However, in Grecia Rosa, the citrusy weight of the grapefruit is leaning more jammy than sour, and it's the same thing that actually makes it not have like a distinct freshness, if you will, because sometimes when fragrances include the note of citrus, any citrus of some sort, they tend to then lean fresh and have like a summery thing. This fragrance, it's going to, for some noses, they have a citrus that feels like marmalade, if you know what I mean, the jam itself, but it doesn't stop there. you then get into the floral weight of it. So it's a top that is citrusy there, and the grapefruit making a presence, but somewhat interpreting as jammy. And then you get a sparkly feel that's not necessarily fresh, which definitely is the addition of the champagne note, making a presence there. Then you have a dustiness of a pear, and this to my nose feels super, super concentrated. This to my nose, even the floral feel of it is sort of like heightened there. It has the rose, working with other florals like rose, peony, and of course, rose and peony sometimes can vibe the same. But I'm just saying this is a little bit louder in terms of how it interprets, that floral note, and it keeps that floral accord and the jammy accord for the longest time. That is what I get from Grecia Rosa. Now, on the other hand, Dom Rosa has what you get from this, right? And it's softened. This communicates more than this does, in as much as it's one and the same in terms of, DNA profile. This would have what some may depict as a smoothness, where it feels as though it's intended not to really push it. So it is a little bit subtle there in what it's doing based on presentation to the nose and stuff. And truly speaking, Grecia, this one, is the one that actually made me fall in love with Dom Rosa. Remember, I said I've had this one in my collection for a while, but I've been collecting my liquids imaginaires, and it is not a fragrance that was the first I wanted to add. In as much as I had it, I had this, I had Fortis, I had a lot of options, to choose from. Blanche Beauty as well. But this one and Blanche Beauty were not the sort of fragrances that I thought I'm going to rush and purchase. Simply because when it comes to Blanche Beauty, there were some clones out there that were so good. I didn't feel I was missing anything out. I had the clones and I had the travel size to compare. I didn't feel I was missing out. And when it came to Dom Rosa, beautiful fragrance on its own, but it wasn't beautiful enough that I wanted it as my top 5, liquids imaginaires fragrances, simply because of how, to my nose, it interprets as soft. So what you get in here, you're gonna get in Grecia, but in Grecia it feels a little bit more amplified. Even the woods in this are more pronounced, right? And the champagne, I can say, vibes the same. There is an evident champagne note in both that you're going to feel. For some, the same champagne note is going to come across as adding like a sour teas in this. The woods are there in both this and this, but they're softer in this. Okay, so anyway, scent profile wise, I would say if you love Grecia, you're definitely going to love this one. But in Dom Rosa, expect a fragrance with presence, but not too pushy as what this one does. So I'm going to put this on the side so that I don't confuse you guys, and we just, then wrap up with me just holding Grecia. Now, Grecia Rosa also lists the note of oud, okay? And I don't know whether it is a fragrance that has oud indeed, or it's a note that they thought to just throw there, because I do not get an oudy feel in this. If anything, I get something that, as the woods mixed together, remember, with that floral feel that's in the mid, and that citrusy feel that is in the top, that then adds a jammy thing, with the pear and all the fun stuff, and the champagne. It kind of feels as though as it gets more and more into the woods, it's suddenly bringing to the surface like a soapy feel about it, okay? And the soapiness could be coming from jasmine. I don't know, guys, but this fragrance has like a soapy feel about it in the dry down, in as much as it carries the rose. The rose may also be the culprit here when it comes to the soapiness, because when a rose turns minty or lemony, it can come off as something that you smell, in soap products, okay? But I'm not saying fixate on that, that's all you're gonna get. No, this is certainly a fragrance inspired by Dom Rosa by Liquid Imaginaires. It's a good take to that fragrance. It has a great lasting power. It's loud to me. And when I put it on the tray, I remember getting a comment from somebody saying, oh, that is not for everybody. And I do agree with them that with this Grecia, it might not be for everybody in terms of how Fragrance World switched it up there to try and make sure that it's a little bit bolder than the real thing. Whereas the Dom Rosa, the actual thing, has got sort of like even a crowd pleasing thing about it. If you love rose, you're certainly gonna love this fragrance because it has a pop-up of everything, but ends up being a soft, beautiful, rosy scent, okay? And no, nothing like Delina. I just said I did not feel the need to buy it as the first or second or third or fifth Liquid Imaginaires bottle in my collection because there were other ones that I felt I wanted to try. The next one that's on my wish list is actually Desert Sway. That is another one that's on my wish list. The other one is the one that comes in a gold bottle. I have Bloody Wood. I have Fortes. Liquid Imaginaires as a house is a house that has fragrances that I actually do absolutely love. But as for this Dom Rosa, Grecia has even pushed it further, you know, behind when it comes to the fragrances that I want to add to my collection from this house, because this really does a good job at this DNA. So yes, you wouldn't be missing much. This has the potential to last or to stretch a little bit more because, as I said, it does more. The champagne note also is pronounced now that I have just waved this, you know, so it's going to give you a couple of pages. It's certainly not a linear scent, but yes, it's going to, you know, bring shine to that rose, most especially rose and peony in a jammy backdrop. A little bit of some citrus is there, the champagne note adding a wafts of a sour thing, and the rose also ending up being sour, even drying down a little bit soapy, and the composition in itself giving you a sweet and sour feel during the wear. Let me know your thoughts on this one. Do you have it? Do you like it? Have you compared it to the original? If you had both, I would love to interact with you then. Before I wrap up, guys, please remember to support my work. This is something that was born out of passion, and I would very much love to hear your thoughts, especially when you purchase the fragrance. Even when I'm not talking about this one, you can just drop it in the comment section if you have it and your thoughts about it. I'd really love to know more, you know, about what you think of it as you get it. And as I said, you get it on www.masterdomperfumes.com. I'm going to link it in the description as well. Remember to turn on post notifications. That way you get to be notified anytime I upload a video. Like and share this one. And remember that smelling good is a form of good manners. Cheers.